on this episode of the VR-4.
Mitsu Gang?
Alright, so right now we are just taking off the ball joint that was on the passenger side. We had forgotten that because we didn't have the appropriate tool. Or actually, I did have the appropriate tool. I did plan ahead, but the tool that I had purchased online was not heavy duty enough, if that makes sense, to be able to take the C-clamps off. The C-clamps that are on this particular model, for some reason, they do not have holes in them, so we can insert the C-clamp tool to be able to open and close, to be able to get the C-clamp on and off, to install and to uninstall. So we struggled with that for a while. We were trying to save a little bit of money, not spending, extra money on tools to be able to get the job done. Randy has plenty of tools, and I have a decent amount of tools, and both our tools together, we should be able to get it done. But since we didn't, after a while of struggling with the C-clamp and the ball joint, I just decided to go to O'Reilly's, get a set of heavy-duty C-clamp, heavy-duty C-clamp tool, and put the tool inside the new holes. Actually, I had to get new C-clamps, heavy-duty C-clamps, because the ones that I had didn't have any holes in them, so there was no way for me to put them onto the ball joint. So got new C-clamps, got new C-clamp tool, put the new C-clamp on along with the ball joint, and we're able to get it all done.
Alright guys, so I didn't tell you guys this, but for my birthday this year, my birthday is January 5th, I wanted to start going to car meets and stuff like that. So on January 4th, there is a Winterfest at Leavenworth, Washington, that I'm wanting to go to. So that's why I'm trying to get the car suspension up and running and done and everything. The part that we are now, I am going to, this is the tire that blew on the freeway a couple episodes ago, so I am going to get the car looking like this to looking like this, which is going to be perfect. It's going to be the black with the purple and the black the black rotors. So when you when you leave and you go do something else and you come back, everything's all put together. So sorry I couldn't go through all that. Basically, this is the new tire rod part. He basically replaced that. He put the new rotor on. That's the dust shield and everything that I did. That's the new, or not the new, but that's the painted caliper that I did. He put the lower ball joint on, and that was about it. Put everything together. There you go. Everything is fine. All that is left is the new tires. So before I go get the new tires, I am going to get these ones prepped and ready. I'm probably going to take those ones off after I have a little bit of time in the morning before I go, just to put a quick 3 coats on there, let them dry, and then that'll be that. So I'm going to wipe this down with the rag, get all that grease and everything out of there, get everything clean, and then I'll spray it down with a couple coats of the flat black. So I got the wheel as cleaned up as best as I could. I'm not too worried about the dark marks in there because it's going to be black anyways. So what I want to do now is just mask off the rim completely with some newspaper and get it ready to get sprayed.
I don't even know why I even put this paper on here, like I'm protecting the tire when I'm about to get a new tire anyways. But just in case you don't know how to do this, here you go. So I masked everything off. Now I'm just going to mask off the plug to the tire for the air. And then now I can start spraying.
So I had to fast forward because I forgot the camera here. So basically, these are done. I got a new tire for this. They couldn't source out brand new tires for this specific. Okay, wants to fall. Okay, they couldn't find brand new tires specifically for the size tire that I need. So they gave me a used one and said to come back on Monday to pick up the 4 tires or whatnot. They were kind of a little bit pricey, but it is what it is. But that's the finishing look of what it looks like, and it looks pretty good. It looks real good. So I'm gonna go on the other side, put the other side on, put the car down, torque these to 90 or 100 foot-pounds of torque, and then try to start the car. The first thing I'm going to do before I put the car down and try to start the car, well, I have to torque him down, and I'll torque him down, then start the car. But first I want to put on my 3SX tire cap, pressure caps. I got these a long time ago, and I am just going to put them on there, even though they are not the same color that I really want, but whatever, it's black. Boom. 1. 2. All right, now I'm going to put the car down, torque these to 90 foot-pounds, and then I'll start the car. Okay, now that the car is on its own on its own wheels, I'm going to torque down the tires down to 90 foot-pounds of torque, and that'll be done. Done. There it is, and I'm missing 2 of these holes. So I finally got it on, and it works. Everything works. Cool. So I will just down and lock it. Cool. So that is set up and everything. That's looking good. Nice. Alright, finally got it out. Let's look at the front half. Looking pretty good. Don't mind the back half, we're gonna get to that. So now I'm just gonna go fill it up, and then I can be on my way. Took the car for a test drive. For some reason
it feels like I don't have full motor force, if that makes any sense, coming from the wheels. So for instance, I'll slam on the, it's not slam, but I'll push on the acceleration, and it feels like, not like before, how all of the motion, you can feel the motor and the turbos, you can feel the acceleration basically. I'm not feeling that. It feels like there's a major rub coming from the wheel somewhere. So I'm going to let Randy know, and we're gonna, he said something about some dust shields, how they were preventing the car, or that's what I was hearing from before when I had just drove the car up the street. He said it'll be no problem, dust shields will be no problem. But when I just drove it, try to go up the street, going into first gear, I barely, it was very difficult to try to accelerate, past, 25, the motion of me going. It feels like something was holding me back. So I'm gonna look at it. It's getting, it's in the afternoon. I wasn't able to leave this morning, but these are just the little kinks and stuff that you have to go through when you're trying to do something on a short amount of time. So I'm gonna try to finish this stuff up. Maybe I have to take the wheel back off and get those dust shields off to be able to make it make the car roll free. So I'll let Randy know, and then we'll brainstorm on what we're gonna do. What up? All right, so I was not able to make it to the Winterfest this year because just had so much, just rushing it basically, with the tires basically. Went to go get brand new tires for the car. Apparently this tire is not one people keep in stock, so they have to order them, and it takes about a day, and then it being the weekend, nobody had them when I can just get them like that. And when I got off, it was about 6 o'clock when I got back into town, so no one had the tire, so all I could do was replace the old tire that blew on the freeway, and that was a used tire. He said it was the same tread that I had on the last tire, so it didn't make any difference. And it was a 37 or 38 instead of a 47 or 45, which what I needed. So I wasn't really sure about that, but I got it, and he said come back on Monday, but he was trying to charge a little bit too much for it, so I don't think I'm going to do that. So the tires, and then it was just from when we put the car back together, just the sounds of the car didn't make me feel safe to go on this journey. I thought it was because I had taken out the silencers, but when I had put the silencers back in, just because I wanted to hear the turbo spool, because that's what it sounded like once we put the new exhaust on. It definitely didn't have that sound. It sounded like something from the engine bay was going on. It was like roaring, and I was like, oh, whoa, is that what it sounds like with the exhaust out? Okay, but I wasn't really sure. Checked with Randy, he said no, everything's fine, blah blah blah. He took it down the street, no problem. Then I took it down the street and I said something's going on, but he had said everything was fine. Come back, went down the street, did a couple errands with it, and it just didn't feel right. So it overheated once while me trying to put new windshield wipers on, because I had it was snowing basically. That's basically one of the reasons why I couldn't go as well. And it started overheating while I was in idle. It never had that issue before, and Randy had told me maybe it was because it was sitting for a while once we were doing the suspension. So I did a flush on it, put some more antifreeze in there,
and it doesn't have any more overheating issues. I'm gonna get a new radiator in a front mount intercooler anyways pretty soon, so I'm not too worrying about that overheating issue if I did have a problem. So there was that issue. Then there was the blizzard warning issue. Understanding that I am going to Winterfest, but I didn't feel comfortable not having all brand new tires. If I had all brand new tires, I'd be like, well, whatever. It's all-wheel drive car. Cool. I mean, it's whatever. This is what this car's, made for. But I don't have all 4 brand new tires. I have all 4 used ones, and the 4 that I didn't replace with another used one. Who knows what state those are in, what kind of tread those are in. And I had those for a while. So definitely not comfortable with that. So that's just another thing added onto the list. So right now, I am back in Randy's garage. I'm gonna jack up the car and try to figure out if I can see what the issue is. If there is a bolt loose, that's what Randy had said. Maybe there's a bolt loose or something that we need to tighten down from it sitting for so long. So I'm gonna jack up the car. I don't know if I'm gonna take the wheel. Probably gonna take the wheel off, and then try to go under where the engine bay is, and see where if there's anything loose or if there's something a gasket or something that needs to be replaced or something like that. And then I will let you guys know and tell you guys what we find.
Tune in next time on the VR-4.
Mitsu Gang?